We are ready for the Rivian wrap reveal.
All right,
Okay.
well, here's the key.
Ooh, thank you.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, look at that. Wide view. Oh, it's awesome. Oh my God, incredible. I'm gonna get a full look around and then I'd love to know what exactly this is wrapped with.
This video is brought to you by Nokian Tires, a leader in safety and sustainability. Maximize performance and efficiency with their made in USA all-season tires and their dedicated Hakkapeliitta EV winter line from the inventor of the winter tire. Learn more at nokiantire.com/EV. This video is also brought to you by Magna, forward for all. And welcome to another Out of Spec Reviews video. This is going to be a super exciting video, a very complicated one, because I'm not going to be presenting it. I am dropping off my Rivian R1T, which is currently white in color, and I will be dropping it off at my friend G's shop. G runs TESBROS and now Rivian Bros, and they are a wrapping company, vinyl company, electric vehicle accessory company. They do so much. It's hard to even explain how much they do. But G and I were talking over the last few months and we're like, hey, the truck color that I got here, the white one, wasn't ultimately what I wanted. I wanted to do something interesting, a different color. I really wanted launch green or forest green. And G said, actually, why don't we do something cool? We'll design a specific wrap for your truck, green in color roughly, and bring it by our shop here in Chattanooga, Tennessee, leave it for a week, and then come back and see what it looks like. So I really don't know what to expect. I'm going to leave him my truck. He's going to wrap it, change the color. I've asked him to film the video at TESBROS with their team. They have a whole bunch of people who work here, and so you'll get a whole bunch of behind-the-scenes coverage. I don't know if it'll be good, bad, but it'll be really interesting. And then, of course, you'll get my reaction as soon as I see the truck completed, and I'm so much looking forward to this. We are late to get on a flight to Los Angeles, so I have to leave you now with my truck in this state. It'll look completely different the next time I see it. Thanks to the guys at TESBROS. Enjoy this video. I'll certainly enjoy watching along as well.
What's going on, guys? This is G with TESBROS, and I got Kyle's keys for the Rivian R1T, and we already got it started. It's a little bit later. We kind of got a wash, we got a D-badge, and pretty much ready to go. But for this video, we want to kind of walk you through the process of what it takes to wrap a car, but also a custom design. So what's happening right now is in the late nights of TESBROS after dark, Desto's actually finalizing the design over here, so you can see in the screen right there. And what's happening pretty much is we're making so that we don't like waste ink, right, and we don't waste any space. We're working out 54-inch media, and then we're going to get it printed, and we're using an eco-solvent printer, so that takes about 6 hours. Now you need to let it kind of wait out and dry, and then after that in the morning when we come back in, we're going to laminate it so that it's a very durable vinyl film. And then the film that we're using for this one is the 3M, the new IJ280 series. And then we're going to get this all ready, but we're going to walk you through the process kind of step by step. So stay tuned. We're going to get this printed in a little bit. So it's day one. We got the design done. Desto got it all done. So what we're now doing is we're printing it. We actually printed a little bit of the first one. It was way too green. This is like Nickelodeon green. So it was like, no, like Kyle would be very unhappy with this. So what we did is we kind of flattened that green right here. So it's a little bit more subtle. And I think gives a little bit more outdoor look. And this is kind of part of the process is that whenever you do print jobs, what we do is we print a lot of color palettes. We really try to get down, like we were trying to follow the NATO olive green from Porsche. So that's kind of what we're going for. And then obviously, if you put the NATO olive green with Nickelodeon green, it don't work. It don't work. So it took us a while, but I think we got it down. We're going to print this, and then we're going to, now that we're happy with it, we're going to do some other stuff. We're going to start prepping it. And then after that, what we're going to do is we're going to let this sit for about 5 to 6 hours. This is important because it outgasses and to make sure that, you know, the install is going to be really clean. And then once it's done, we use this laminator right here. And it just goes through. It's a roll to roll. So it just goes from roll to the other roll. And then pretty much goes through. And this is the gloss. And again, what we're using is the new 3M IJ280. So it's supposed to be really conformal, really easy to use, and this has a pretty high gloss. So this is gonna look really, really good. So stay tuned. We're gonna kind of give you guys updates here and there, and then a few time lapses and stuff. But we're really happy with this. Let's do it. So one of the most important things when doing any sort of wrap or any stuff is going to be prep. So we spend a lot of time, and as you can see, we already have it debadged. So all the badges are removed because we don't want to cut around it or anything like that. So we remove it, and we're actually going to give it a black logo treatment all the way around, thanks to our friends at Absolute Ocean. So that's what we're going to be doing. We're going to get that in a couple of days. But you can see right here, we got it foamed. In the first wash, we typically just do the foam. Well, we rinse it down, then we do the foam, and then we rinse it again, do another foam, then wash it. Then after that, we do another prep wash, which takes out all the oil, the degrease, all that stuff. And then we also do a clay bar, which makes sure that there's no dots or anything like that. And we want to make sure the wrap looks really, really good. And then once we're done with that, that's when we can finally lay the film. So we're about to get started, and stay tuned. So we got everything printed and laminated. Like we said, you have to wait about 6 hours for it to outgas. So we have all the beautiful rolls. You can kind of see a little bit of it. You got a very, very, this is like NATO olive green, coming from like Porsche, and we have it in gloss laminate. And then you can see a little bit of those accents pulling through. And then now that this is ready to go, we're getting our final prep in. And what that means is we're doing things like edge prep. We're making sure that we're cleaning with alcohol. And then just making sure that there's no contamination, last minute checks, so that it looks really, really clean when it's being installed. So that's what we're doing in the background. And we're gonna get started on this. And we'll put like a little video while we're working, and then we'll give you a little bit of montage. Here we go. Let's get it.
Yo, get the speaker box loud, hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound. Hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound. Hitting that stuff till you hearing that sound.
And welcome. You joined me at TESBROS, specifically their content lab, and we're here to pick up my Rivian. Just kidding. We're here to pick up Kyle's Rivian. Welcome back. Like I said, we're in Chattanooga, Tennessee. So we came here because G, who's behind the camera, owns TESBROS, and Kyle has always wanted, since he got his Rivian, for it to be wrapped. So we had the idea of working with G to get a custom design wrap on the originally white Rivian. So we're excited to reveal that today. But before we dive into all of that and show the hard work that they've been working on, thank you so much, TESBROS and everyone over there, for this effort. It's really awesome. I'm really excited to see what y'all have done, but also to get an overview of what G and his team does with TESBROS. If you're interested in wraps, what you can learn about it, and overall give you a tour of the place and then wind up showing you the Rivian. So let's go. All right, G, thank you so much again for all your hard work and just in advance for giving us the tour of your place. So tell me a little bit about TESBROS. You started this, right? When did you start this company?
So I started a little bit less than 5 years ago, and I had this idea for actually a door label. So back in like 2017 and 18 Model 3 cars, it used to be a door button, but it had a like straight line. So we thought, you know, I had a friend that used to go into my Tesla Model 3 and they didn't know how to like exit the door. So they would use the emergency door lever. So that just kind of annoyed me. And then I had zero background in vinyl, to be honest, and I thought, man, there has to be a better way. So we came out, and like in 2 weeks, came out with a product with a buddy of mine, and then we launched it, and it kind of went viral, and we sold like thousands of this in the first month. And then from then on, we kind of went with the center console, and then we just kind of like foster this do-yourself mentality for products and try to make it really easy and really just adding value to the Tesla community. So that's kind of how it started, and that's what it is still today.
Awesome. So you own a Tesla too, right?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. And so have you wrapped your own Tesla?
So I never have time to wrap my actual Tesla, but I've wrapped a lot of other Teslas. But my wife drives the X, and then I drive currently a Model S, 23, the Ultra Red. Honestly, that's really pretty to wrap. I had PPF on it, but I kept ripping it off because I was R&D on it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was making products and stuff like that. So yeah, mine's not wrapped right now, but I'm gonna wrap it soon.
Oh, really? What are you gonna do?
We don't know yet exactly. We want it to be unique. It depends too, because it depends if like the Cybertruck comes out. If it comes out, I think everybody's just gonna like jump into that. And
Are you going to wrap Cybertrucks?
absolutely, I think that's like gonna be a massive one. Everybody wants to wrap it matte black, I think, and not just matte black, but all the colors that Tesla's been coming out with has been really, really nice. So like the camo, and the Ford F-150, like the funny stuff. I think a lot of people would want to do that, and it's like the perfect do-yourself project because literally a bunch of triangles and diagonals and and flat surfaces, which is like a rapper's dream.
And obviously the delivery event is coming up just later this week, so
Yeah.
people can reach out to you if they want to get in line and get wrapped in
Yeah.
Chattanooga.
Pretty much.
Okay, and so obviously you work with Teslas. That is what this was born from, but Kyle brought you a Rivian.
Yeah.
So is this your first Rivian wrap?
I've seen a lot of Rivians, but this is the first one we're wrapping, and this is the first one we're doing a custom wrap on. And it's been fun. It's been fun kind of learning about the car. It's, to be honest, a lot flatter than the Tesla, and I like it because there's a lot less like smaller pieces, right? So like the Tesla, for most of the Model 3, Model Y, S, and X, their bumpers are relatively similar. It has a nose and it kind of dips down, so you need to do a little bit more stretching, right? On the Rivian, you see like the headlights are there, like a little pill-shaped light bar, and then it's pretty flat all around.
Yeah.
So there's not as much like massive stretching that's needed, but nevertheless we're able to wrap it without removing a single thing.
Awesome.
We removed the mirror caps and that's about it, but we
Okay.
kept it pretty much intact.
Super cool. And it was your colleague Rob, or your employee Rob, who
Yeah.
really helped with that too. So maybe y'all will be able to show us that. So before we get to the reveal and everything with the Rivian, I'd love for you to show us a little bit of behind the scenes.
Sure.
Can you do that?
Yeah, I'll kind of walk you through what happens kind of in the back end. And one thing that's interesting, I guess, is that we are a manufacturer and a design. So we you can already hear the kind of loud noise, but we design our products, we actually make it, we kit it here, and then it goes out to pretty much everywhere. So kind of like Tesla, obviously it's hard to kind of compare with Tesla. We really try to vertically integrate it and try to control all of that because we want to make sure that we can provide the best prices, best value, and again, best, value to the community ourselves. Because I'm a Tesla owner, I'm a big, believer of EVs and sustainability. So I want to make sure that we provide the best.
Awesome.
Yeah. So this is the printer, and this is the eco-solvent printer. And if you look around the side, we have some stuff that's already printed. And these are our plaid charge port right for the Model S, the 2023. And we print it and we let it sit for about 6 hours. And what it does is it gases out fully, right? So once that gases out, it moves to this. And this is the laminator. And while it's sitting and drying out, it goes through and we laminate it with a very, very thin film. And what that does is it protects it from UV. It gives it that longevity and also gives it a little bit more rigidity. So it's a little bit easier. You don't want it too flimsy and thin. So it gives it that kind of like thickness so that it's a little bit easier to work with.
Okay.
So once it goes through, this is cold press all the way through. Then it goes into the cutter, which is right here. And we go through a lot of vinyl, 3M, Avery, all the big ones. And then we pretty much put the vinyl under here and we cut stuff pretty much all day. And then we're cutting our kits, we're cutting the patterns. Not everything is printed ourselves. We have a lot of, obviously, selected colors from 3M and Avery and other brands. And then pretty much from here on out, it gets through the I guess like the the line, and then gets kitted, gets packaged, and then it goes out to customers.
Oh, cool. So not everyone sends their car here. You also sell wraps that you ship out.
Yeah. So we kind of consider our business like, you know, again, we try to really add value, and we think about how we can add value. And our thing is, we help you customize, maintain, and protect your Tesla, or eventually EV. So we have plans of, you know, obviously expanding into other EVs, especially the Rivian. So we're going to start RIVBROS pretty soon. But pretty much we have the e-commerce side, we have the service side, which we wrap cars pretty often. And then we also have the content side, where we build educational content around those three things. And anything that we can provide value, like in the wrap side, you know, how do you know who's a good rapper and who's not? You know, what's the right way to do things? What's the best, you know, things that I think other people would find valuable.
Right, because if you're going to pay for this, you know, it's not inexpensive, right? And if you're going to really bring your car somewhere too, you want to know that you're bringing it to a reputable wrapper and that it'll last. I mean, Colton with the out-of-spec detailing recently tweeted about something where someone got something wrapped and it's like, has these weird cuts, and it really just basically is far from perfect. So you want to help people make sure it's perfect if you're not doing it, that they know how to flesh it out.
Yeah.
Okay, one question I had here that kind of goes with that is the UV rays and stuff, you know, these wraps protected, and of course that technology is in here, but also how often, if I get a wrap, will I have to get it wrapped again?
So typically to be honest, they would last between 3 to 7 years. That's what's officially rated at. And obviously in the front end of the side where it gets a lot more sun, it might, you know, go out a little bit faster. Also, it's in the front, so you're getting a lot more damage with rocks and stuff like that. But I would say if it's well taken care of, and what I mean by that is, you know, you don't go through like super harsh chemical, you know, car washes and stuff like that, it should last a good bit, you know, 5 to 7 years. Typically, we do recommend removing it, but you don't want it there for too long. You don't want it there for 10 years. And eventually it might kind of like bake into the paint, and then it might cause some issues. So you do eventually want to remove it. But that's the beauty of a wrap, right? So like, we didn't really, for the car, the Rivian that we wrapped for Kyle's car, like we didn't remove anything. So literally when he wants to, he gets tired of the green wrap maybe, he can literally remove it and it'll be just like it was. Like we don't use any adhesive promoters or anything like that. We don't, when we cut, we always try to cut like along the edge. We're not actually cutting on the car. We rarely cut on the car. So there's very, very little damage that it could cause.
Great. All right, let's maybe walk around this way. And is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so I wanted to ask you a little bit because, you know, you said you started TESBROS, and I'm sure that wasn't the easiest feat. Like, how have y'all grown over history? Like, since from when you started to now, where you have this warehouse, e-commerce, you're wrapping, you're doing the YouTube and the education stuff?
Yeah, that's a hard thing to answer because, you know, I think when I first started, it just started out in my bedroom. And then it kind of moved from my bedroom to my living room. And then from the living room to my garage. And then garage to 700 square feet, and then a 3,000. And now we're, you know, a lot bigger now. So when I look at it, you know, first of all, I'm grateful for like the support of the communities. But I think that as we continue to add more value, I've always been a really big proponent. Like I'm not really here just to make a quick buck or anything like that. I really am here because I love the community. I love the people I've met, you know, like out-of-spec people and everybody there. And it really is a really tight-knit community. So as long as we do that, I think we'll continue to grow.
Yeah. Is there anything that you're like super excited that you're learning about lately where you're like, oh, I can't wait to bring this on? I mean, of course, expanding to other EVs outside of Tesla, is that mostly kind of what's exciting you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to get into the Rivian market. But one thing that I'm mostly excited about is I forget, like last year, we launched the do-yourself PPF kit, all right? And the PPF stands for paint protection film. And it's usually a clear, you can't really see it once you apply it. But these are like the kits right here. But we package it pretty much with everything included, like this. It's a little heavy, where you get everything, right? So you get all the rolls, you get all the, you know, essentially everything you need to get started. And we started with the paint protection film because I thought as an installer myself, you know, I know how to tint, I know how to do color, I know how to do PPF. This is probably the hardest for me. So I thought if I can get the average Joes to try and do this successfully, I could make them do anything, right? So we kind of went with the hardest thing out there and said, let's just, I didn't honestly think it would work, right? So like, I just tried it and we came out with a design. We actually designed everything from the ground. We really thought about the customer and not for the pros. Pros already know how to do themselves, right? But we like designed it where it might be more pieces and it's more seams, but it's going to be incredibly easier for the average Joe. So since then, we've had thousands of customers that have been happy and been able to protect their car. So what we're really excited about is bringing the color market into the do-it-yourself market, right? So like that's something that traditionally you go to a shop like us, right, and say, hey, I want to get my color wrap. Oh, it's $3,000 to $4,000, or if it's printed, it's like $8,000 to $10,000, right? So it's really, really expensive. Or you could do it yourself. So that's something that we've been actually working on for the past year, as far as like coming out with a kit now for the color side. And I'm not sure yet if I can make every single thing like fit, but I can make it really easy. And I think I can make a kit that will equip them so that they could save not just a lot of money, but have a, you know, a learned skill that maybe they could wrap the next car.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool. Yeah, that would be a fun family project, wouldn't it? Let's wrap the car.
You know, if you can stay together rapping, then I guess you're there for the long
It's
haul.
the other version of Monopoly.
Yeah.
Last Monopoly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, what else do you want to show us in the warehouse?
It's really messy because you came at a very, very busy period. So we're getting a lot of stuff out right now. So
Right, with all the e-commerce and Black Friday.
yeah,
sales and
it's
everything,
insane, you know.
Busy pulling all-nighters. So we also
Right.
really appreciate all your time and effort in wrapping the Tesla.
Right. So yeah, we have a bunch of stuff going on right now, but pretty much this is all the e-commerce side and production side, and then this side is kind of like we call it the content lab here as well. This is where we do all our videos, all our instructionals, but this is also where we do a lot of testing and also working out
And lifting.
and lifting. But this is where I get a lot of new products out. I test it. I stay up here all night, like just toying with ideas and stuff like that. So I have my car here all the time.
Nice.
And I do a lot of late nights here where I could just experiment with things. So
Awesome.
I have a lot of films I experiment with, try different products and all that stuff. And I think what's unique about what we try to do is like, we don't always bring everything to market. And I don't want to, because I would only bring to market if I actually find that product valuable. So we're never the first ones to bring like products into market, unless it's like our product that we make. But we're not always the first. But you know that if we bring it to market, I've used it in my car or someone in our team have used it in their car and we find it valuable. So we do vet every single one. I don't know if that's like scalable, to be honest, but I'm gonna do it for as long as I can.
Yeah, I mean, that integrity of what you're offering, and like you said, bringing value a lot, that's really important to you. You don't want to put something out there unless you trust it. So.
Yeah, exactly. And I think people value that. People know that. So we really try to, you know, keep that really from the beginning all the way to, you know, as we continue to get bigger, we're gonna stay true to that.
Awesome. So I know that there's something exciting behind there, but before we go, maybe we'll make sure that Rob is ready before we reveal the Rivian.
Rob's, I think, ready over here.
Awesome. Okay. We are ready for the Rivian wrap reveal.
All right. Well, here's the key.
Ooh, thank you.
All right. In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, look at that. Wide view. Oh, it's awesome. How fun was this to do?
Super fun, right? Yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. Like we said, we actually didn't have to remove any of the panels. The only thing that we Rob had to remove was the mirror caps. But other than that, this car is relatively flat, so it doesn't have to be removed. And like things like here, you could just kind of go deeper in a little bit more to kind of get wrap around the edges and stuff like that.
Oh my God, incredible. I'm going to get a full look around, and then I'd love to know what exactly this is wrapped with and how that decision was made. I mean, not necessarily the design, but the actual materials. So what is the Rivian now covered in?
So this is 3M 280 This is their new line of printed graphics, and it's laminated as well with gloss. So
It is
it
very
has a
shiny.
nice sheen to it. And we printed it using the Epson, which is an eco solvent. So it has a really nice, rich green color to it. And this is rated for, I think, 5 years.
Wow.
Don't quote me on that,
It
but
looks
roughly
so
around that.
good.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you, Rob,
Yes,
over there in the back.
too.
But yeah, this is 3M 280, and not only that, we got our friends at Abstract Ocean, and they hooked us up with this black, really, really nice whole set. So not only are all of these black, but even the front is black.
Even
The
front.
R1T.
I think we have some great B-roll of this going in
Yes,
as
so we
well.
got this. The kit is super amazing, super nice, and we love the guys at Abstract Ocean. And then on the back, we also have the Rivian in black as well with the
It
R1T.
was a nice touch because it was the silver
Yeah,
that came with it. So so say again who you got these from?
this is Abstract Ocean. Pete and Crystal are awesome. They've been doing this for a long time. They also have a lot of Rivian products, good friends of ours. And this kit is really, really easy to use. Very well made. I mean, literally, we use some templates, but after that, you just like put it in and it's just adhesives, right?
Amazing.
So we had to remove all of it so that we can wrap it a little bit easier. That's like the only thing that we really removed. But then to put it back was super
I
easy.
think the black looks really nice with this obviously darker color of this green, right? So have you told me everything about the wrap? Like how does Kyle have to treat it?
Honestly, we picked this material because we want longevity. And when Kyle first talked to me about wrap and stuff, he was like, this is a truck. You know, I want to treat it like a truck. So that being said, I know he likes doing a lot of cool stuff, a lot of video stuff. And this color, he picked it, but it's such a good color. It's called Nato Olive Green, and that's kind of like what we were going for. And we put a little bit of accents to kind of give it a little bit more, what he would say, like in test vehicle, right? Like test vehicles.
Yeah.
So it's a nice little pattern. It was inspired by the Red River Canyon Rivian. And then we have a bunch of lines going through, a lot of dots going through, kind of random in very like two-tone, but more muted tones. But as far as like taking care of it, the main thing is like, if he doesn't like wash the car, I mean, it's better than going to a car wash though. You know what I'm saying? Like if you took it to a car wash, this would probably wear down in less than 2 years, right? But if he just kind of like let it sit like it does and stuff, totally fine. I think it'll be okay.
Okay.
So I think it'll last. I think that's better than taking it to a
So if
car
he
wash.
were to wash it, not a car wash,
Yep.
takes it to a detailer only or hand wash?
No, you can hand wash it. It's actually pretty resistant. So
Okay.
you could use any like, car wash shampoo. We typically recommend like a biodegradable one, not anything too harsh. But, we typically recommend doing the 2 bucket method, which means that you have one for wash and one for rinse so that you're not introducing back dirt and then kind of going in more straighter lines instead of kind of doing this, circular motion
Good
and
tip.
stuff like
Not
that.
the wax on, wax off.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
all
not
know
the Mr. Miyagi
Exactly.
and
Okay,
stuff like
good
that.
tips.
Yeah, so we try to encourage that, and that typically helps a lot with the longevity. But honestly, if he didn't do that, I think it'd be okay. We picked this material for that very reason, and I know he's gonna take it to a lot of cool places. It's gonna get dirty. We know that. So, let's test it. Let's see how he can withstand it.
Yeah, exactly. It looks, I mean, so good. I just keep looking at it. I love the design. I know someone on your team took the inspiration from the Red River Canyon Rivian and, ran with it and edited it a little bit based on Kyle's feedback, but it really looks wonderful. So kudos to your teammate. And then also, I wanted to ask, this is your first Rivian, and you said it was a little bit easier because it was flatter and stuff, but
Yeah.
what were the main takeaways from wrapping the first Rivian and with a custom wrap, like you said?
So I think if we were to wrap it in a normal color, it would be really, really quick. It took us a long time, mainly because like this was Black Friday, like kind of leading up for, so that's like the busiest part of our season, right? But it's Kyle, we gotta hook him up, so we had to do this. But I think the designing process can be a little bit difficult. There's a lot of templates, but the difficult part about like, for example, this design is you have to align these lines, and it's not, I wouldn't say it's like 100% perfect, but I think it's pretty close. I know some people will probably look at it and be like, oh, that's not quite the same, but I think we're relatively happy with it. Can we do better? Of course. I think every project, but we try not to hide our flaws. Like we're gonna be honest about what we can and can't do. And also we got to be understanding that this was the busiest time of the year. But these are kind of easy to wrap because it just kind of opens and then you just wrap around everything. This one was a bit of a challenge. This was probably the hardest one, right, Rob?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well, yeah, it's massive. I mean, it literally goes like, it's kind of like the opposite of a Model 3, because a Model 3 goes like this and it goes underneath. I actually prefer this one though, because it goes up instead of down, because you're in the ground, right? But this one goes all the way here. It's not difficult, but it's just a lot of work because you gotta
all the way up to the
you
top,
gotta
and
like
no
tuck all
brakes.
this stuff, and you gotta, you know, there's just a lot more work involved.
Big piece, so it's a different puzzle than a Tesla is.
Yeah, but the way we designed it, if you look, it doesn't connect with anything. We did it on purpose. So these are the decisions that you try to make. So you work off a template, and then even after the template, you have to like quadruple check the alignment. And even with that, we've made like some, you know, I guess like mistakes, right? And that's something that we're pretty open about.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, the first go, it looks great to me. I'm no expert, but I am kudos. This is really awesome. And I know one thing you also talked about is the material that if you were stretching it, it might change the color of it. So that was an aspect here too, where you had to get just the perfect fit, but also make sure it lines up. So
Yeah.
quite the detail oriented.
Yeah, yeah. We're used to doing mostly like colors with, you know, 3M, Avery, and bigger brands, right? And you know, this is 3M, and it's very, very similar to the material we use, but we're printing the color, you know, eco solvent into the I guess like substrate or like the canvas, right? And when you stretch it, you typically can stretch a normal color cast film up to 15%, which is quite a lot, right? But I would say if you print it for this one, I think you stretch about 7%, and that's about the limit. But once you do that, it does start to discolor a little bit. So we want to make sure that when you're stretching, you don't do too much of it.
Just the right amount.
At the same time, this doesn't need as much of a stretch. So I think the hardest part though for this car, to be honest, is going around the doors. So we didn't want to take out this mirrors. Again, like we were, you know, kind of battling with time. Like we just don't have a lot of time, right? And people were leaving right before Thanksgiving. So instead of taking out the mirror, what we did was we just made a cut right here at the top, and then pretty much, you know, mended it together. So like, will people see that? Yeah, if they go like that, but most people aren't going to see that. So those are some decisions that you can make. So if we were to make a do-yourself color kit, that's exactly how I would make it. Is I would make, you know, a cut somewhere there, so it's a lot easier to do. I'll do this all day. This is, especially like color, this is fun. Just not during Black Friday season, you know. But I think we'd do this all day.
Yeah.
This is one of the mistakes that, sorry, Kyle, if you really don't like this, we forgot to take out the outline on.
It could be a little Easter egg.
Yeah, it's an Easter egg, so we did that on purpose.
Yeah, it's
Kyle.
actually really on purpose.
But we saw it too late, and I was like, you know, because you got to wait another 6 hours, and it actually takes about like 3 hours to print it at high quality setting. So it just takes a long time to do all this stuff. So that's something that we're like, you know what, if he really doesn't like it,
We'll let it slide. And
yeah.
also, you know, thank you. You also, you know, really gave it a go with your first Rivian for Kyle's Rivian, this custom wrap. So, I mean, I think it looks awesome. I'm so excited to drive it around and for Kyle to see it for the first time. So
Yeah.
thank you so much for your time and effort. We really appreciate it.
You bet. Well, congrats, Kyle.
See the color change. Oh, nice. Yeah, perfect. Hello, everyone. You find me in the beautiful forests of Chattanooga. I took the Rivian from TESBROS and had a great time, honestly, speaking with G and Rob and the team about all that they do. They have a pretty multifaceted business model. It was really cool to learn about and, of course, learn all of their process wrapping Teslas and now a Rivian and more Rivians in the future. It's cool the volume that they do. I mean, if Rob, the rapper, can and he will, as he gets better and better and can take more and more cars, he can do like one a week all year. So pretty cool how they can scale this, and it'll be interesting to see how they do it. I think personally that it looks really, really good. Look at that shine, the color, really cool to learn all about it. I hope y'all enjoyed this. If you don't know me, actually, I just realized I didn't really introduce myself in the beginning, but I'm Francie. I'm part of the Out of Spec team, and I run the Out of Spec podcast channel specifically. So tune in. I talk about everything EV news daily, EV topics, EV experiences, cool interviews with people, and just basically anything EV adjacent, as I say. So definitely go check out the channel, and you can listen and watch the podcast as well. And that's super fun. So I'm getting ready to take this baby all the way up to Cleveland, Ohio, to the Charin event, and I'll meet Kyle up there, and then he'll take it back to Colorado. So some teamwork to get the Rivian wrapped and then back to Colorado. So again, I think it looks great. Hope y'all enjoyed the video, and let us know, would you wrap your Rivian?
Well, guys, you joined me the next day. Francie drove through the night up to Cleveland, Ohio, where I'm now able to see my wrapped truck for the first time. And well, first of all, I just had a chance to watch the video. I really loved it. G's been a good friend of ours. We've worked with him on projects since TESBROS was just starting right around the same time as Out of Spec, and we kind of came up in that EV bubble together. It's been really fun and been great to work on this project with him and his team. And wow, I'm just absolutely thrilled. I mean, for a printed wrap to line up the panels, to do this piece as one giant vinyl piece, this is crazy. It's gotten Colton's stamp of approval, so I'm pleased with that. And of course, we're gonna probably protect it, put a ceramic coat or something on top of that. But like you saw in the video, it's my truck. I'm gonna use it. It's probably gonna get dinged up. That's how I like to use my vehicles. We bought it for work. We're gonna use it for work. And now it just looks super cool. Loving these swooping patterns, the little rock faces here, just simulating a little bit of an off-road trail, if you will. This is gonna look so great when I get my Overland Rough Racks roof rack back on here. Love the Martian wheels. I mean, the truck's really coming together into something special. This is what I've had in mind for it from the beginning. So I couldn't be more thrilled. And honestly, I'm excited for the launch of RIVBROS. So really excited to see what G has coming in store for Rivian owners to outfit them with a bunch of accessories and protection equipment. Should be great to follow along on that story. Can't thank the guys enough over at TESBROS. Can't thank Francie enough for doing this video and driving it all the way up here, literally through the night. That was pretty amazing. And we got to get to filming. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on another one again soon. Bye-bye.